Today, and I'm B&SUN. This is another episode, man. I got some great men sitting at this table of Jacksonville, Florida, and I guess we're gonna go to 360, and we can start clockwise. You can introduce yourself, tell them what you're running for, give them your name and information.
My name is Connell Crooms. I'm an activist organizer in Jacksonville, Florida, and I'm running for office of mayor of Jacksonville.
Diallo, Sekou, running for city council district 8.
Nahshon, candidate for City Council, District 7.
Okay, fellas, man. Y'all all know, I talk to y'all, I interview everybody. Y'all know I'm very unorthodox and I ask kind of weird questions. When I go to a city like Atlanta, and when I'm in Atlanta, I really enjoy myself a different type of way. And I don't know why. You know what I mean? And I don't know, maybe that's because of the businesses that I see, the level of entrepreneurship, when I go in certain geographical areas, I see African Americans. Not saying they're not successful in Jacksonville, Florida, but as far as it's just the flavor, and I'm like, Jacksonville has the potential to be there. Because don't get me wrong, in Jacksonville, one of the only cities that has a waterfront beach and a waterfront downtown. The city got so much potential, man. And there's so many people in the city that's like, man, we want to see something happen. And being that this is a new generation coming in that's going to be that power to make change.
That's right.
In all type of aspects, I guess, how y'all feel about that? Not to compare and contrast, but how do y'all feel about that, as far as for a person like me that want more for the city, that want to see more, I want to see more businesses. Not big time business, but more, mom and pop shops. I want to see more of that. So, how could that be implemented, in the city?
To your point, Atlanta is actually a great example because of where it is regionally. It's a regional distance from Jacksonville to Atlanta. It's like 4 hours, 4.5 hours? Not very far. And Atlanta is a major city. But why is it that you have a major city in Florida, where Jacksonville being the first major city that you have to go through when you get into Florida? Why is it that a major city such as Jacksonville doesn't look like Atlanta? Well, although it does have the culture, the black history, the black culture that Atlanta has as well. And a big part of that is again, as I mentioned before with you in the interview, a big part of that is just really just straight governance, just straight leadership. It's not the bulk of the people. The people have long known these issues. We've all lived in Jacksonville, and we've heard for so many years Jacksonville has so many potential. And I got to tell you, I'm about tired of hearing that. But we know Jacksonville has been the largest city in the country land-wide. That's potential in itself, but we're not using it. And a lot of it just happens to be because, black folks who make up so much of the entrepreneurship that you're seeing in Atlanta, make so much of the culture and the vibrancy that you see in Atlanta are all with that black and brown lead. But black folks in Jacksonville unfortunately aren't getting those opportunities to build businesses for themselves and actually empower each other, build a hub of creativity, a hub of economic production to actually do where you can say, this is the southern Atlanta, this is the Atlanta of the South. Florida, Jacksonville is its own Atlanta in Florida. We don't have that, but we need to get there.
Okay. Like elaborate that in.
Alright, so we can get it right.
Okay. Like you elaborate on that.
And I've been in Jacksonville since 1991, originally from upstate New York. One of the things that I look at is I go back to housing and urban development. We don't have a lot of housing and urban development. We have a lot of housing and underdevelopment.
That's right.
And I had a chance to sit down with Carlton Jones, one of Jacksonville's major developers over the last 30 years, who was looking at bringing a movie theater over there to Golf Fair with Magic Johnson, the Starbucks. And one of the things that we have to look see was thriving. But one of the first major shopping town centers was right here on the north side, off of Golf Fair.
That's right.
So, and no pun intended, before you went to Gate Parkway, we had Gateway Shopping Town Center.
Yes.
So we already had that concept before they built that over there on the south side. However, we weren't given those same opportunities. One of the things that I learned is we look at what goes on above ground, but we don't pay attention to what's going on beneath ground. When you're dealing with contaminated soil, contaminated land, and then the cost that it takes for young businesses or emerging businesses to be able to thrive. They basically go in the hole because of what's going on pertaining to code enforcement, and those type of things are deterrents for young black entrepreneurs to want to come in predominantly black communities because they're hit with all these fines and surprises because they're not aware of what's going on in the ground. If you can control the flow of traffic, you can control the flow of economics. City council fought against bringing in a movie theater. If you bring it to a movie theater, that means you gotta have money for the ticket, money for the popcorn. These are the type of things that I'm looking at pertaining from this one aspect.
Yeah.
You don't see a Starbucks in a broken down community.
Right.
Because you gotta be able to afford $3 coffee.
But to your point, you made a great point when you brought up and I bring back how it all in. When you talked about all the shopping centers that Jacksonville has had, Jacksonville is a big for shopping centers. But we should also mention that City Council did actually vote $20 million to bring in retail spaces downtown. But people don't understand about the retail industry is that in order to make money, you have to spend money, right? But the reality, the truth of the matter is Jacksonville also has some of the lowest wages in the country. So if you can't have both ways. You can't have people who are making anything and say, you know what, we're gonna build more office spaces, more retail spaces, and we want to bring more small businesses occupy these spaces. But these small businesses are gonna look at the first thing they're gonna look at what sort of wages are in your city, but what sort of support do you have for those people if you want their business to come here? I'm not talking about more Starbucks. I think we have enough of those on the south side. But the truth of the matter is that it makes a very great point that all of those business, all of that stuff is actually historical to in Jacksonville's history, where we had throughout the time a thriving economy throughout that time. But we have President Donald Trump, folks who are actually requested to American economic power, power working people to actually buy stuff and maintain those businesses. That you have what I call the musical chair, or the economic musical chair. That which is to say, Toys R Us, Sears, Walmart, all these big box stores, all these big retail businesses going out of business and leaving us with empty large ass lots with that down generating any economic activity whatsoever. So
I'm jumping from here to here. Next question, because y'all know we're in the time frame right now. When I ride through the city, I do see in certain areas where I'm not gonna say it's underdeveloped, but the look of it, just from the landscaping, from people who come into certain neighborhoods and they're buying the properties and they're not investing their money back into the properties to fix up the community. When you guys get in a position, can you tell me first off how you feel about that? What implementations that you would try to change or will change regarding the properties in a vacant building, the vacant houses in the communities to make people want to come back to certain areas and say, I want to move over here. I want to live over here. I want to bring my business over here. That was a 5-in-1 question. I'm sorry for the we can start Diallo if you want to be there.
You got to mark the area. You got to make sure that you organize the people that live in the area. You have to make sure that if there is a housing association, a neighborhood association, that they're actively engaged in trying to keep the area a certain look. And then if it's a historical area, they can fight to make it a historical area and preserve some of the things that are taking place in Springfield and some other historical areas, Riverside, in the city. So for the most part, it's about getting your feet dirty, your hands dirty, making sure you have a relationship with grassroots organizations that may be going out and boarding up houses, doing work in the community, kind of help those who aren't able to help themselves. And then you also have the right-of-ways, which belongs to the city. Right-of-ways belong to the city, so the city should actually have a more hands-on effect of cutting their grass outside of people who live live in a house with city property in front of them. So you have that part. The thing we mentioned about in the last interview was about hiring people within the district to do those type of jobs. And then that way you don't have to have that 90% percentile leaving their homes 20 minutes to go to work. They can walk out the door and go to their job and, also cut the grass, keep the trash up. It's a 2-and-2 part, man. It's a lot of moving parts, and specifically when you look at an area that your building is in, the area I live in, Durkeeville, you can look at historically, you can look at redlining, you can look at the lack of resources that the leadership is not providing over here, and you also can look at the people themselves who are working, and then you have those who aren't working to make the area collectively a better area.
Gotcha.
And redlining is a great perspective. And for folks who are watching, Diallo has a great point, because you got to look at the fact that our ancestors and our elders, when you're looking at houses that are only worth $60,000, if we did get approved for a bank loan, we have to pay $120,000 for a house that's only worth $60,000, which means now you got to work an additional 10 years or 20 years when you could have been retired and owned your own home. Or you moved across the river, or you moved across the bridge, with voluntary and involuntary gentrification. Voluntary gentrification is, man, I can't wait to get up out of this hood. I can't wait to get up out of these projects. Because you haven't seen value in the people who are next to you.
Exactly.
All right? You don't have a buy-in in that neighborhood or that community, so you can't wait to get out. Where do you go? Across the river, you pay more than what's necessary, or involuntary gentrification, meaning, listen, if I want to make $20 an hour, I have to drive to the south side, okay? Or I have to drive to the west side, or et cetera. We want to make sure that we have mixed income housing, mixed income communities. They're safe, they're secure. Whenever you got a safe school with a quality education, you got employment opportunities, it doesn't matter. You're going to win. You're going to win that draw. And like I said, there's a lot of things that can be spoken of to revitalize communities. Community Reinvestment Acts. You have the Everbank Community Reinvestment Act. A lot of people don't know about it. But then you look at out east. You look at the most impoverished and blighted communities. Where did that money go? Then you look at Historic Springfield Community Reinvestment Act. Historic Springfield goes all the way up to Brentwood, Norwood, Golf Fair. But people think it stops at 8th Street.
That's right.
Where did all that money go? Then you look at the Jacksonville International Airport Community Reinvestment Act. Then you look at, we got all this crime on Harts Road, the crime on Biscayne. But a part of those community reinvestments pertains to public safety, public lighting, public transportation, public education. There's a lot of funding that I'm having to dig and research that the average resident is not even aware of. Okay, and I want to make sure that the information is mobilized to where we can capitalize on what's successful to us, to where we're able to have proper safety, transportation, roads, and quality education.
Yes, sir. Okay, so my question, this is a major question that a lot of people are uneducated to. They just don't know. Like myself, I admit, I hear about money, funding. There's a lot of things been exposed to me from watching the news, reading the paper. Where does the funding come from? Who does the funding benefit? How is it distributed out in the funding? And when you guys are in that position, what are your plans of implementation to do with that money? We're gonna go in clockwise.
All right, well, again, the funding comes from, taxes that have already been paid in the past and taxes that are being paid in the future. So you don't have, you have your sales tax, you have your bed tax, and you have your property tax as well. Now, there's a $58 million shortfall in property taxes in Jacksonville, where there's about over 5 people living in Jacksonville, a little over 35,000 folks in Jacksonville owes to the city government about $58 million in property taxes. But the question, a lot of those folks are saying, well, why should I have to pay those property taxes when I'm not getting my worth? And then we talk about housing, where you have a home that are worth $60,000, and then you have to pay $120,000. That's the property tax I'm talking about. Those folks paying the city that property tax only for folks on the city council and the mayor's office only to say, you know what? tax their property who aren't even paying anything in property taxes, which is why you see so many Walmarts and McDonald's, the big corporations in Jacksonville. There's so many of them. I don't think any major city has more than 3 Walmarts in their city, but Jacksonville has over 10, not even including the neighborhood stores. But why is that? Why are they allowed to have it? Because what we've seen in history historically that, you know, when Walmart came up, what they basically promised these cities that we're going to bring jobs. And in exchange for us bringing jobs, that we don't want to, that, you know, we get a break on the property tax. So except they're not paying anything at all, allowing them to expand, but all that money, that revenue that they're getting doesn't stay in the city, it goes into the corporate coffers overseas. So basically, you're depleting, you're depriving of small businesses and depriving of folks who are actually living and who are having to work for these companies in our city. You're depriving them the right to life. See what I'm saying? So the taxes already exist, and the taxes that will exist. So all that is being dictated by, you know, by the mayor, largely by the mayor. But the city government with the committees does have a lot of say over.
Let me jump in. So you also have the feds, which is why it's important to have the proper congressperson that's going to bring money to the area in which they represent. So you got the federal, state level, and the local level. Right? And Jacksonville gets about $1.5 billion for the city. They have a financing committee where those people sit on, which is supposed to divert the money to different districts. So you want a city council person that's going to deal with, for example, in District 8, we have infrastructure issues. The infrastructure is when you're dealing with flooding. They haven't dealt with the flooding issue since 1968, which is supposed to be one of the promises of consolidation. And so now you can just see right now, deep on the north side, homes are now being tied to off of the septic tank. Some of them is being tied to the city. The other things, you have septic tank issues, you have the drainage issues, you have road issues, potholes that subpar work that's being done have to be done 3 and 4 times a year on this particular side. You also have several issues dealing with small businesses. So you know, you want to, those common things you hear any politician talk about: roadways, crimes, those type of things. And these are things that wrap around better quality of life, that helps the self-esteem. But one of the bottom lines is creating home ownership in a district that may not be doing as well as the Southside district. So in District 8, we have to increase home ownership, which creates the taxes, which creates better taxes for the school where those taxes go to. So the taxes divvy out, trash, school, and all those other particular things. So the strong council person will create legislation to sustain funding for this area. Not just giving me $600,000 for cemeteries. That's great, but I have people that's alive that could possibly, we should have to choose between cemeteries and senior citizens or children that are homeless, which means families are homeless. So what's some of the things?
Yes. I always go back to housing and urban development. Whenever you hear the term urban, it typically goes to the inner city, which is most of District 7, or urban also refers to black and brown people. All right. And light ties into urban decay. Literally, well, figuratively and literally. To do the same thing and expect a different result is the definition of insanity. So, when we look at it, one of the biggest things that people say is that I can't get in contact with my council person. I can't get. This is the 21st century. However, our means of communication are Pony Express, telegraph. We gotta learn how to be able to get important, vital information out to the masses immediately. And then we need to make sure that their voice is being heard as far as opportunities. For example, you look at temporary housing. Temporary housing means that you're here so that you can transition, but hopefully transcend. We want you to move out and up, right? We have looked at grant dollars that come to our community. We're trying to take temporary funding and make it permanent funding. The purpose of the grant is to pilot, to test, to fund for a portion or period of time until you're able to stand on your own. Long-term sustainability, that's how we're able to thrive. Community block grants. Community community block grants is not a city block for, four rights or four lefts. A community block grant goes through our entire region. We got to look at the board. Unfortunately, out of all the players on the chessboard, this is what represents Democrats. This is what represents Republicans. So we're already outnumbered in the mayor's office, and we're already outnumbered when you talk about the district pertaining to city council, and we're already outnumbered pertaining to at large. So in order for us to get something going on a mass level to make major moves, we need the voice of every single person in our community, every single person in our district, and we gotta be mobilized. Those are the things that I can see us doing to make major moves. And it's not that we lack funding, it's restructuring.
Exactly. Wow. Exactly. Revitalization, to its point, so much of that comes from government that actually works together. That is not a government that seeks to undermine, the representatives of a district, which we've seen in city council. It's been a major issue in Jacksonville over the last 3-4 years. Folks from city council have often complained that, and a strongman government with a strongman mayor who leans to support, fascist right-wing ideas. When you have those sort of folks, running government, they're always will undermine the interests of black communities whose only goal is liberation. That's the only goal for, and especially in Jacksonville, where you say that we have a tale of two cities, where one side of town looks different from the other, but it's all one city. It's like,
So my question, just raw and uncut. City council, future city council, and future mayor. With the description of the money, just name a few areas where you would motion that money and that funding into.
Well, for me personally, as a mayor, my idea is it's really just straight cut and dry. To increase funding by basically revitalizing our economy by putting more money into the budget, but there's already money that's sitting in the budget. It's like the money is just being allocated fairly. So that's something that you already know that you should get a fair allocation. I think there are folks on the south side that have complained. I've been out there on the south side. They complain is overgrowth, meaning that there's too much development on the south side. Bring that development over here. See what I'm saying? If white communities are complaining about development and urban communities are complaining about there not being enough development, you're doing something wrong.
Future mayor.
First thing I would do is look at the books. So, I just mentioned the layout, the systemic issues that's been existing in District 8 for over 50, 65 years. But the first thing is, I need to look at the books. We need to find the money that's missing. So one of the things that people need to know is that, the city has grant writers. Grant writers use the ills of District 8 to find federal dollars. So some of the grant dollars the brother's talking about. But that money never makes it. Okay. So we need to find out where that shortcoming is, where they're bottlenecking the money. We've heard reports of people in the mayor's office using, 6 figures to do this. They want to stop the bridge for Con, 13 million over there. Yeah. But we're still looking at making sure we need funding for infrastructure, just the basics, We don't want to flood on the hard rain like San Marco and Riverside. Still flooding on the north side. And then of course there's a whole environment that we have to create so we don't have to worry about what's the so-called violence, the pocket of violence, and making sure that if I sit on that and the budget's going to JSO, this whole thing, we have to make sure that that JSO has a great communication of what they call intervention, prevention, and whatever other thing Sheriff Williams talks about. But I think the people who are closest to the problem are the ones that can actually solve the problem. And I'm not saying because you make 6 figures or you live in, I'm saying because you make 6 figures and live in the south side, you haven't spent enough time with a hungry single mother. You haven't spent enough time with the 20-year-old or 25-year-old single brother who makes that, but who's in school or who may not be in school. You haven't spent enough time with the people that funding is supposed to go to. And to be honest with you, this is 800 square miles. And so it's a huge problem in a city that big, and every side is being developed, but except District 8, 7, 10, the way that Riverside, Avondale, Southside, it shouldn't have to be that. But this is a history, this is a city named after Andrew Jackson. This is a city that had Confederate statues, Confederate park, Confederate roads, even though James Weldon Johnson came in, he wrote the Black National Anthem, and it's one of the reasons why I've been building a culture center on King Road, 8,000 square feet, hopefully rooftop, so we can celebrate our culture, we can have a resource center, we will have that bookstore on there. That's the type of things that we have to look at. I hate that, but people have to understand that there is a systemic racist issue that exists, not only just here in Jacksonville, but around America. And then once these politicians can get to that, deal with that issue, deal with why the majority of black community lives on ass sites and Superfund sites, and we still haven't gotten reparations, those scenes are still alive, then we can start moving things forward.
Wow. Okay. Future City Council.
Well, first and foremost, demography or demographics can lead to a person's demise or project into their destiny. Right now, they say most self-made millionaires come from healthy, functional families. To me, the health of the environment pertaining to the neighborhoods, as far as safety pertaining to toxins, as he was talking about with superfunds and potash from pollutants over a long period of time. But not just that, I want to make sure that we have healthy communities that is physical, that is natural, that is emotional, and that is psychological. I don't believe that even though we look alike, we still don't know how to interact. We got you want to know where everybody goes to jail in the city of Jacksonville? They come to District 7, right off Bay Street. All right? For youth detention centers, right there on MLK, District 7. So if this city, when it comes to black and brown people, we gotta find ways to offset these destructive behaviors pertaining to murder. Like I said, I just want to sit down with the councilperson for District 10 about the murders. Do you know, for the last 3 years, we started off with 117 and 119. Last year was 141 murders. You want to know how many look like us? 100. Wow. So this.
How many were solved?
Jacksonville is, murder capital again in Florida. And that's not something that we should be proud about.
So like I said, that lets us know that our image towards each other has to be more productive. We gotta create dialogue with our youth. Because a lot of them, they don't understand that when they go behind that interrogation, they know you're high when you come in. So what they're going to do is let you sit by yourself without your cell phone, without Twitter, without Instagram, without Facebook. They're going to let you sit by yourself for 2-3 hours, let that high come down. Now you're paranoid because you don't know whatever. Like this is basic tactics, but these are things that don't get solved by Mike Williams. This is the type of stuff that gets solved by grandma. This is the type of stuff that gets solved by your father, your uncles. We got to make sure that our local neighborhoods get the resources that they need to have healthy, functional families. And then we will see the profit on the other end pertaining to economics. They're not even aware. I teach martial arts. It's impossible for me to tell your son, listen, I need you to stop doing what you're doing. I'm doing what you asked me to do. We're going counting, right? I noticed what he was doing. He wanted to hurry up and get done, so I said, right here, slow down. When he slowed down, he made sure that he didn't miss anything. So you can't get people to correct something that they're not even aware of. So if this has been dysfunction for the past 40 years, 60 years, 80 years, or since 1862, then basically we got a lot of work ahead of us. And speaking of what you're saying, Brother Diallo, pertaining to Black history, when our ancestors weren't allowed to go to hospitals, we had boosters. The first Black hospital that's in operation, it's not even operating. Why do we have a Black hospital that's an historic monument that's not even in operation? Does that make sense? Why not have Chester's, who went to Moncrief for murder, to open up his pharmacy, Chester's Pharmacy? He didn't have to go there. He could have partnered with another major corporation, but he opened up in predominantly
strategy I utilize in my life, which is, and I try to put this out to different advocates and activists, which is, if we recognize that, you know, a lot of our boys have been murdered and murdered each other, supposedly, but to be honest with you, that's still a hypothesis because they never found a suspect. We don't know what the streets and Facebook say on social media. But the thing is, we don't remove all of our energies to go like, yo, let's go and react to a situation. Right? We recognize the situation. We make sure we work to put something in a situation that can sustain it. Because to say like, how do you solve what people are calling black on black crime, which is a misnomer. It's really people who live in the same area, they all commit crimes on each other. So we don't just focus all of our energy on Confederate statues, on young boys dying. What we look at is, how do we solve that problem while building? We can't continue to just react. Like with me, I'm like, yo, we can go protest every day. And people like, if I go on Facebook, Twitter right now, like, yo, I'm ready to go do something. Like, for what? Like, yo, our issues are suspended, which means they ain't going away, which means they've been put in legislation, and they are continuously being promoted and pushed. So any official that goes in and don't reform this legislation or any legislation that we deem to be systemically racial or biased towards our community, they're just going along to get along, and they aren't changing anything. There's no reform that's taking place.
There's nothing wrong that he said. You know, I do want to add, you know, they're talking about, you know, crime, the so-called black crime. That's not the issue. That's not the crisis. The crisis is police crime. You know, we all come from minority districts. We all come from black communities, and it was a problem during the Obama administration, and not a problem that was solved during, you know, the Trump administration. It's a problem that continues. But the truth of the matter is, even right now, there was a police officer that was charged, but had his charges dropped. He was charged because he was actually beat up a handcuffed team, and this was something that they had. You know, he had a long history. He had a record. I was beaten. You know, people were shot right out there on what's it, 9th Street? Not very far from here, but it's something that continues to happen. So how do we rein in? What are we doing to rein in a police department that's out of control? So that's where I say police accountability comes in. So when I talk to black folks, and when I'm talking about, you know, the crime, I say the crime that's being committed in black communities, or black people committing crime against other black people, whether black people committing crimes against white people, or white people committing crimes against black. A lot of that stuff has to do with the economic conditions that are living in. It's poverty, you know, or because of the education. I was talking to the brother earlier, talking about the lack of education fund. When we don't fund schools, where do you think those kids are going to go? When you continue to enact, you know, legislation and requirements that make it harder for kids to graduate, you know, we can give them the money, the funds that they need, you know, to obtain to study. What do you think they're going to do? They're going to go out there running in the street, and then we say, oh, there was a shootout there on the south side. What a black kid doing and hanging out there on the south side of the shootout? Where they should be? They should be in school. Get them off the street. So when black folks say get these kids off the street, that's what we're talking about. Put them in school. You know, have actual programs. You know, we can't just be a city that continues to fund nonprofits that does the job that the city does. We can't be that. The city needs to actually enact legislation, enact programs that actually help the community and prevent the conditions that we're currently living in from being a generational continuum. See what I'm saying? I'm a third generation resident of Jacksonville. That's 3 generations. I'm tired of it.
I'm gonna say it like this, brother, man. The passion, the knowledge. I know y'all for the people. I know y'all for the people. And I had an honor to be here to sit at this table with Charles. We got the chest in front of us, and this is what it's about. And we definitely gonna have you guys come back again here, man. This is gonna have to be the end of our session. I appreciate it. And before y'all get off, tell the people who you are. Look into the camera. Duval. And clockwise.
Well, my name is Connell Crooms. I am running for mayor of Jacksonville, Florida. The election majority, you'll get right to work.
Diallo Sekou C. Brooks, running for the City Council District 8. My Instagram is the Diallo Sekou, same on Twitter, and it's Diallo Sekou on Facebook.
Nahshon Nix, candidate for City Council District 7. Follow me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube under Nahshon Nix or hashtag. You can get it to in your Google search and then pull up all my social media outlets. Vote Nix for Jax.com. Vote Nix for Jax.com.
Yes, sir. Brothers, I appreciate
All right,
it.
brother.